Hello everyone, I'm Afternoon Tea with Humans, and today I'm going to be showing you a second part to my particle trails video. So, a couple of months ago, maybe even, I released a video about particle trails in Minecraft Bedrock Edition, showing you a bunch of different ones, and all of them were a little bit simple. And so I've decided today that I'm going to do a video on more complex ones. Ones that can take a little bit more time to program but give you some really cool results. So starting off, I have an improvement to my flame trail particle, so my fire particle trail. And this one, it's like a rocket almost. It's a combination of some mob flame single particles, campfire smoke, and lava particles all together, added with a sound effect to make it sound like a rocket or like car engine, and it's super cool. Yeah, as you can see, I prefer this a lot to the basic sort of fire trail in the previous particle trails video. It's got a lot of layering, it's got a lot of texturing, and it's got a lot it's got so many really cool elements to it. So I was super happy with this one. And like the last video, if you can combine it with speed, it's super fun. And yeah, as I said in the last video, it really reminds me of the Back to the Future car. Like when it sort of like drives away really fast and it gets that like flame trail along the wheels. Yeah, super cool. Next up, I have this like blue fire one that's as you can see, it's like the flames when you're stood still, it's like the flames like circle around you, bouncing off each other. Honestly, this was kind of inspired by like the Kalaka Ball volley from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like the part 2 thing. And as you can see, if you walk, it can get some really cool patterns around you in terms of like the way it moves. It's really fun. It's like super dynamic movement. And if you yeah, like this direction of walking gives you that effect, and there's so many cool effects that you can get from this and the way it spins around you. And I think it's even still super cool when you're just at a standstill and you watch it sort of like spin around you. Yeah, it's like awesome. Draw some really like cool patterns in the air. You can also add sort of effects on top of this to make it so that anyone who like steps within this blue fire circle gets damaged. I think that could be really cool. I'm gonna stop that rain for a second before we move on to the final particle. I'll switch that off. And yeah, this one's like a magician's thing. As you can see, I get this super cool like purple effect behind my head, and on either side of my head there's sort of like runes dripping down from mid-air. Some of them are really colourful, some of them are like enchanting table runes. And there's this really cool thing you can do where if you jump in the air and spin your mouse, it creates like a cloud of them around you. Yeah, all around you, as if you just used a spell. And in addition to that, because of the thing coming out of your head, if you run along the ground, everything jets out behind you like a plane taking off. If we turn around, you can see it's like a vapor trail. It starts out of my head and like slowly climbs up into the air before dissipating, and it's really cool. And yeah, from second person, you can see, I think the runes look really cool in like the second person mode. You can also sort of see the particle effects coming out from behind me. But yeah, when you're in first person, you don't really notice it, so it's a very unobtrusive particle effect, which is, I don't know, good for some like survival stuff in my view. But yeah, I was super happy with these effects. I hope you guys like them too. So I think I'm going to get straight into a quick programming tutorial for how to do each of these effects. So I'm going to start off with the rocket fire particle effect. The first command block you'll need is this one. What this does is executes a command at the nearest player to this command block, which creates a mob flame single particle, just sort of at their feet. And this one is the exact same as that, however it creates that a campfire smoke particle, which is also super cool at their feet again. This one also creates a thing called a lava particle at their feet. That's that sort of like ashy sparks that you see coming off that same trail, and this one is what creates that sort of engine flame crackling noise. It's sort of like it's just a 5.5 sound effect with an extremely low pitch. Next up, we have the blue flame clacker volley thing, and so the first command block, before we get into this chain of command blocks, you need to create 2 armor stands. So just beside my chain, I've got these 2 command blocks right here. This one summons an armor stand called Spin Par, and this one summons one called Spin Par 2. You're going to want to place down those command blocks, type that code into them, and yeah, you're going to want to activate both of them. So yep, that'll create 2 armor stands called Spin Par and Spin Par 2. I've already got some in my world, so I don't need to do that, but yeah. If you're programming this for the first time, you're going to need to summon in those 2 armor stands, but don't break them like I just did then. And then you're going to need this command block over here, which teleports those armor stands called Spin Part underneath you and then spins them round. The first spin part is span clockwise, and the second one is the same command, but for the other armor stand, and that 10 becomes -10, which means that it spins it in the opposite direction, anti-clockwise. And then this one, that's what creates one of the particles, one of the armor stands, and that's what creates the other particle for the other armor stand. So yeah, it's really easy to program. And yeah, I think it's a really cool effect. You don't really see a lot of like dynamic particle effects that sort of move around you like this and can form like crazy patterns. Next up, we have the like runic magicians thing. So the first command block for this, it's just a repeating command block. With this command inside, at the nearest player, it creates enchanting table particles, so that at them to the side of their head, and then also it also creates some other enchanting tables. Because of the 2 sets of runes on either side of your head, you just need 2 command blocks for that. And then there's the coloured runes that also go on the side of your head to the right of you. And then there's the second coloured rune that also is moved to the side of your head. And then the final purple lingering particle. If you don't really like this purple one, you can sort of just break that command block, and you don't have to have the purple one. As you can see, if you don't have the purple, it's still a really cool particle effect. But yeah, if you find the purple one too obtrusive or distracting, which is understandable, you can just take that off. I've just replaced that back there, and it restarted. So yeah, super simple to program. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. I'd love to hear your video ideas in the comments section.